Okay, Assalamualaikum semua. Okay. Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to everyone. Harap semua sihat today. Semua dekat rumah ke hari ni? Okay. So, I am Lisa from Authentic Ventures Neighborhood, and I would like to thank you to all of you for joining our webinar today on increasing sales with sales funnel. Here with us today are Mr. Haslan Jr., Vice President of Business Development at Authentic Ventures Neighborhood, with more than 10 years of experience in sales, and also Mr. Amir Fauzan, our Partnership Development Manager. They will deliver the topic on increasing your sales with sales funnel, and we hope that we are able to help you grow your business during this challenging time. This webinar will be conducted in a mix of English and Bahasa Melayu. If you have any questions throughout the webinar, feel free to ask in the Q&A section where our team will help to answer your questions. We will also have a Q&A session at the end of the webinar. Without further ado, I would like to invite Mr. Haslan Jr. to share on today's topic. Okay, Mr. Haslan, you can start share your screen.
All right. Hello, everyone. Hello, Nisa, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. Okay, so Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to all of you. So I guess everyone are still in a good position. We are still early of the year. So I guess everyone still have the spirit to move forward towards the end of this year. So, as you guys know, we have facing a pandemic. A few countries has been affected by this pandemic. So, I guess one of the key areas that we have to look through is how we want to make sure that we are still able to operate at a very minimal overhead, at a very minimal cost, and yet we have to making sure that we can actually try to maximize the full benefit of cloud technology system-wise, to making sure that the operations are still on point, but at least we can try to strive for at least for the next couple of months, so that we can see how we can actually handle this crisis, for example. Now, so today, thank you very much for all of you that are joining this webinar, and especially for Authentic Ventures and Berhad, the organizer for this webinar, and also the MC just now, Puan Nisa. So, we thought that this is the right time to actually share with all of you, even though we cannot see, face to face, which is, I hope, I love to see you in face to face so that I can get the feels on how to actually we can help you to be there. But then I guess there are some restriction that we have to follow. So yeah, so this webinar we are talking about sales funnel or even sales management, and I guess this is a very ideal moment that we have to relook, revisit, restructure, re-engineer all the soft things to making sure that how we actually can handle our sales performance, our sales structure for a few months in advance. Because I guess after this crisis, for even 3 to 4 months ahead, so we have, the market has become tough and the customer become tough because they are actually in a position of reserving their money. So I guess that is very important that we have to, to understand about that. All right. Now, so I'm trying to mix in terms of the presentations punya explanatory terms. I guess I will mix a little bit of Malays and also English, because some of it might be not really understandable in Malays or the otherwise. So basically, I just try to mix around lah. Okay. If you have any question, just put the questions on the Q&A on the bottom of your screen, and we have a team as well, so that we can actually help to answer some of your questions. All right, so this is a little bit about me. So I'm a vice president on the business development at Untitled Ventures and Berhad. So originally, happened to be, I was graduating in accountancy from University Putra of Malaysia, and I've been doing sales and marketing for more than 10 years, for example. But then I just like to share with this story a little bit a story about me when I mean, kids, like I guess I remember on 11, 12, 13, something like that. I was followed my fathers to go to Pasar Pagi, the early of the I mean the morning. So, and I buy some in a big amount of volume of vegetables, and then I just cut it into a piece, and then I sell it out, resell again to the people after 7 o'clock in the morning, for example. And I'm able to do that for about 1 year ahead. So that's where the moment that actually helping me to actually doing sales, and it's very interesting, it's very fun. But I know most of people are thinking like sales is very tough, you know, because you're always facing rejections, objections, and so on and so forth. But because you don't really find your own path, your own right way to do actually how you actually can do your sales. So I guess that's very important. Okay, so the rest of it is just like introductory about me, but I guess I just want to straight away go to the content. Now, just now I've referred to what we are facing right now is a COVID-19, is a pandemic, which is we can't go out and meet our customer, do the presentation, pitch our product, what is the value, what is the benefit. So I guess that is very important that we have to look, and this is the time where we actually have to restructure some of the part, the process that currently we are applying, that actually we try to help you whatever things that we can help, and as much as we can. And then at the same time, you are also providing and supplying you with a very tremendous perfect, not perfect, but a very good system to support for your operations. We have supplying CRM, Office Central. So apart from Office Central, we have CRM, Customer Relationship Management. So today, basically, I'm just going to touch and focus and zoom to this particular module, CRM, which is Customer Relationship Management, because I guess this is the heart of our company, to making sure that our company run and we are able to serve our customers' needs. Okay. Now, just before we enter a very I mean the main course, okay, if this is a dinner, okay, this is only the appetizer. Right, so I just want to give you some 3 tech hubs for you that actually you can bring and you actually can try to implement at your own. Okay, the first one, you have to make sure you have done the setup and station, set up everything, that you are making sure you're connected to internet, you're making sure you're connected to the system as well. So making sure that you are still connected to the other world, even though you cannot do, I mean, face-to-face interactions, but still you have to do some of your workstation, be comfortable with your own station, making sure the chairs is good, the table is perfect, so that you are, because is involve the emotions when you do things. Okay, you cannot do things when you are not in the rational. So you have to do in a very relaxed, chill, and cool down a bit, so that you can actually do some marketing campaign. For example, you can do blasting email and stuff like that. So actually, it help you a lot. Secondly, you have to have a timetable. Timetable is very important to making sure that you have some lineup, or you have some sort of rhythm that you would like to complete it by the end of the day. I know you cannot do everything under, I mean, one day, but you have to put the priority, like marketing campaign is very important, because marketing campaign, they allow you, people knows about you. So that is very important, that you have to spend about 4 hours for marketing, 2 hours for sales follow up and stuff like that. So timetable is very important. And the last one, the third one, you have to put up 3 major component, or 3 lineup most important things that you have to look throughout this period. For me, for example, I'll give you some example. For me, the first thing first, I have to restructure my sales, reprocess it. Secondly, I have to relook on my financials to make sure that my cash flow is okay, can run. And secondly, how to make sure my team, okay, delegate some work, okay, delegate some tasks to making sure my team are able to carry out the tasks even though we are not, have a meeting day to day. So that is very important. The first one, your sales processes. Secondly, your cash flow, the financials. And then the third one, your teammate or teamwork or maybe your staff. Okay, so this is very important to make sure that you are still connected. All right. So I guess that's the take up, just to ease the tension before we move further. Now, before you even go into further, I just want to recap again. For those people, participants, ladies and gentlemen, those who have attended my training or my workshop before, this is the first thing that you have to remember. This is very fundamental, the concept of sale. What is sale? Okay. Then you have, when you crafting your sales target, be it on the sales target, be it on the sales KPI, you have to do some measurement. For me, it's very simple. You have to do your own checklist. It's very simple and straightforward. I just put this concept SMART. Very be specific. Okay, specific means that you have a number, you have some figure to measure. For example, 1 million ringgit. So that's the very specific. Measurable, it can be measured from time to time. Attainable, something that actually can attain by your team or even by yourself. Okay, because you have to remember, at the end of the day, you need to focus on the output, the outcome. Okay, the end result there, attainable. Relevant, okay, because of the COVID-19, might be 12 months, it's not relevant anymore, but you have to spread it out into 6 months. So might be, that's why I said you have to relook how you put the KPI, because the relevancies for the 12 months is no longer relevant at the point of this time. Okay, and also time-based. Time-based refers back to your team member. So making sure that every week, every day, every month, we do some checklist to making sure that our progress, our numbers are moving forward. Okay, not static there, because if it's just static there, then I guess that's the problem. Okay, but now you have to do your measurement and checklist. All right. Then, okay, why I'm very concerned about this, because for me, you have to know and you have to determine what is the process of your selling process. Selling process. The process of selling means there is a process. The keyword, the process. Okay, there is a process of selling goods or services. Menjual barangan ataupun perkhidmatan. It's either goods or services, and the ultimate objective is for money. You see, so there is a few keywords there that you have to very good understanding that you need to actually put in your mind, in your program, in your planning, because throughout this process, the money is very important to get it. Right? So that's the ultimate objective. But for me, anyone can create a product. Anyone. Okay, that is not the hard part. The most toughest thing that actually when you do in your company is selling the product. You see, so we can see a few people are actually successfully sell the product, but some of it not. I guess there is no secret for me, from our experience. There is no secret. Okay, there is no something a fixed formula. Okay, no. It's based on your experimental, it's based on your hypothesis. You do your own journey, you do your own experimental, and towards the end of the day, you can have your own formula. Likewise, for example, Haslan, I'm going to share with you today, it's from our experience. I'm not just take up from any books, you know, and then make it, okay, mix up together, mix up everything, and then I said, okay, this is my journey. No, I've been doing this for the last 7 years, I guess. Call customer one by one, do the interactions, customer pitch the product. Okay, you know, we have some interactions. So I guess this is very much the process. Now, but another thing that you have to remember, you have to actually have a very good concept about this, is what is your VP and USP. Okay, I believe if you were attended my training or workshop before, then I guess this session is very interesting for me, because this is the way the moment you actually can evaluate, try to re-evaluate, okay, if you have done before. But then kalau you never done this, then this is the right time untuk you get some point from me. Okay, I'm just sharing from my point of view. Now, just to give a very simple, understandable explanatory to differentiate these two things area, VP is a value propositions which is commonly or mainly it focus on your goods ataupun services. You will talk about very much on your product and services. Okay, and unique selling point is something for how you project your product, but not really talking about your product, but instead, for me, I would recommend it to focus on the benefit for your customers. What's the good for your customers, not what the goods for you. Okay, this is something that some of entrepreneur of some of the businesses, even micro, even small and medium enterprises, they slightly mixed up these two things. So when they pitch, it may sound like they are too focused on the value proposition instead of unique selling point. That's where you cannot actually sell out very much at very high minimum, at very maximum volume to your customer. Now, I just give you some example. I believe this topic when I was in Sabah, I'm talking about this concept. So we take up like one example, the foundations. This is a liner makeup for a woman or a lady, a foundation. Now, for value proposition, you're talking about your foundation. Your foundation is a little bit lasts longer. It's a clinical tested. It's a manufactured from Switzerland or maybe from Zurich or maybe from Italy, from Europe, which is where we know that there is a lot of nutrients there. I mean, the compound or the nutrient is very much at this foundation. So that is your value proposition. Now, if you want to project this product, this foundation to your customer, you don't have to tell everything what is all about, what your product is all about. Your unique selling point is how to translate those value proposition to benefit for your own customers. Okay, so you're talking about the benefit. Now, when it's a last longer foundation, what is the benefit for your customer? Last longer benefit for your customer, then they don't need to apply again and again throughout a day. For example, they put in the morning, it can last longer until to the midnight of the day. You see, so that's the benefit. They don't have to touch up. They don't have to carry inside the purse, the bag, and stuff like that. So that's the first benefit. Secondly, because of this, there is a lot of nutrient there. The compound dalam foundation tadi. How you project the unique selling point, because there is a lot of nutrients. So your unique selling point is, apart from being foundation to cover up the skin, the layer skin of your face, your customer's face, is actually embedded with some of nutrient, which is healthy, is good for the skin's condition for your customer. You see, so apart from just being foundation, it actually comes together with nutrient. Actually, that actually can handle your maybe oily, or maybe a very dry skin, for example. So that's the benefit. So you just touch on the benefit. Don't really talk about your product, because otherwise, then the customer couldn't really get a feel. You see, you couldn't get the feel of using your customer. That's the difference when the Apple actually are presenting the product every year. I just give you some example, if I just may to say this. Remember when Apple do the Apple conventions at United States, for example, at their own campus, Apple campus. So basically, yes, it may look like they are very focused on the futuristic, on the new iPhones, new iPad, but you have to remember, along the way, they fit in, they put everything in the content is all about the customers. For example, the series. So when they just put a button, the series come up and you just say whatever things that you want to say. You want to check the weather, you want to check the ambulance, you want to say something that you are in emergency mode, or maybe even if you want to say just you want to book a restaurant or even book a Grab from the Siri. See? Even though they are talking about futuristic, that's the value proposition, but they are talking also about the benefit, how the people can benefit it, or the Apple user can benefit it after using the Apple. So that is very much the differentiations between value proposition and unique selling point. I guess from my sharing today, this is my sharing, my suggestion to you, you have to put every one VP and also unique selling point, what is the main point? So that when you translate it, when you explain it, when you pitch to your product, your customers, you know what the strategy is all about. And when you pitch to the investors, you are talking about your value proposition. Again, see? So that's the, the sharing today. Okay. Now, we are talking about increasing your sales and improve sales processes. Okay, so I guess this is the main course. Okay, just now we are having the appetizer. Okay, so this is your main course. Now, but before we even go to the strategy wise, this is some of the finding that actually from my own observations throughout Malaysia, including Sabah and Sarawak, mainly about 90% are doing this, SMEs and also in entrepreneur or startup even. The strategy to increase sales, very traditional, finding a new customer, new segment, and then it's either you increasing or decreasing the price. You play with the price, okay, and also mass productions. Maybe because of you decrease the price, you were expecting the production is going to be high, okay. So because that is logically, okay. Or even you have to restructure logistic and location in terms of maybe you start to have like physical store, physical boutique and stuff like that. So that is very much the strategy for those people who actually were trying to increase the sales. Okay, I'm not saying this strategy is not good, okay, but for me you have to relook out from the box. Try to think something that you actually can work out, and yet you don't have to actually spend a lot of things. I mean, in terms of number, in terms of money, in terms of energy, in terms of maybe research on how to do it. Okay, why and how? Okay, because if you keep doing the same things, you only get the same result. This is where some of my participants that are still connected to me saying that they have done this for the last 3 years, 2 years, 4 years, for example, they will still get the same number. They don't really get able to break through or even at the par of their target or the achievement. Because I guess you are very comfortable with the processes that you currently have in line. So that's why you couldn't get more further. So from this sharing, I hope we can share and we can learn together so that we can actually moving forward. Because I always says this in our sales conventions, okay, we have in our sales conventions when we meet with the other salesperson as well, sales speaker, we actually put ourselves as the learners, you know. Learners are earnest because every day we have to learn new things, and when we learn new things, it actually can help us a lot in everything. So because of that, you can earn something else. Okay, so that's why learners are earnest. Remember this. So contohnya, for example, from INSCAN, Institut Usahawan dan Negara, for example, they are suggesting that the people, we actually record the purchases of our customers, all the record from their personal information like email, phone number, so that we actually can spread out or even blast for email, blast for survey, you know. So that's where the system is very important, because you cannot have everything works in silo. One in the Excel, one in the handphone, one in the table, one in the computers, one with your salesperson. You need to synchronize everything under one platform. This is where the moment I can teach you the theoretical, where we talk about the theoretical, but you need to have a practical things. That's where the system comes in. Okay, so again, we can share things about theoretical, all the theory that we're going to share today, but you have a practical things to do to implement the mechanism where the system comes in. All right. Menghantar ucapan, sending, wishing, maybe anniversary and stuff like that. Because in Malaysia, just now, from my own observation just now, okay, a lot of people, a lot of entrepreneurs in Malaysia, they are looking at one single transactional in relationship. Means that I buy it from you, and then after that we have no contact at all. This is, I guess, it may sound hurt for everyone, but yes, this is the fact. Because we are just looking into one single transactional relationship, where we actually forgotten about the second revenue stream. That's the way they make use of the database. Now, we are going through after this, but this just want to finish on this slide, and then getting somebody feedback or maybe testimonial from your customer. So I guess that is the structure is all about. Now, before we go to the second revenue, we talk about the database, but this is slightly what the CRM system is all about, or the system, the CRM mechanism, or the factors, or even the concept is all about. Now, there is a lot of things that we can do, but I just want to focus on the two things, analysis and database. When we talk about analysis, what is analysis is all about? Now, how you do your own marketing and how you actually do some projections for your analysis. How much you reverse back to this one on the blue one. How much your SCPL? What is SCPL? I just normally in the workshop or event, this is a little bit of like quiz, you know. Just to try to whether you heard before. Okay, SCPL is average cost per lead. Okay, your cost per lead. So for example, when we talk about analysis, now a lot of people are putting their money for marketing budget every year, or even marketing and every marketing campaign. They put the money, let's say for example, 100 ringgit to this particular channel A, for example, and respectively for channel B. So that, and then they put 100 ringgit respectively, A and B. But then towards the end of the day, A is contributing 10 leads and B is contributing 30 leads, for example. So you can see that even though on the same budget and the same figure, but the channel B is contributing more than channel A. So from there, you know B is more effective than A. You see? So this way you actually can play around with the number, play around with the figure, play around with the money, so that from the next marketing campaign, for the next marketing budget, you will put a little bit more on the marketing campaign B instead of A, because by hoping after you transfer 50 ringgit, let's say for example, from A to B, so it becomes 150, you are able to produce double up the number. Instead of 30, it becomes 60. You see? So that's the analysis that we are talking about. But for me, we have been doing this for the last many years. You cannot do this if you don't have a system. That's the word. You cannot do and implement and have analysis, this one, if you don't have a system, because the system will allow you each and every track, each and every process, how much the cost and how much the input and also the output. So this is very important. From now, you have to do your own determinations, do the analysis based on the marketing campaign. This is not really on the sales. This is very much on the marketing and also for the sales as well, because the cost for the leads is also cost for your sales. You see, get the point? Now, secondly, on the bottom one, okay, this is where I'm talking about just now on this slide. Okay, we are actually producing the database. We are actually building up and firm up our own database. This is very important because, again, from my own observations, some of the points that I've taken from my own customers and some of the participants that I'm still keep in touch, they don't really have a database because everything works in silo. Everything works manually because it's not connected. It's not synchronized from one to another. So because of that, you don't really have the exactly number how much your customer. So now, okay, now when we are facing the COVID-19, so I guess this is all about try to relook how much customer that you have currently in line and how much your customers is on the first single transactional relationship. Means that your old customer, try to actually pull and try to come up with the database. Who is the old customer, who is in line now, who's in the pipeline, and who's actually your future leads. You put up in everything in the database. And once you come up with the database, that's where your other resources of revenue actually comes in. Now, the question, where is it? That is your database. Second revenue stream is you can do from the analysis just now, you can do some of the marketing, especially for your own customer, how you actually can bring back on the track. For example, it could be resell, it could be upsell, or it could be cross-sell. You see? So that is what it's all about. The database is very important. Very, very important. So I guess from this sharing, I just want to highlight again, building up and make use of database is very important. But other than that, you can do your own, like, you can do the communications, you can do the PR, customer care documentation and stuff like that. So actually you can do a lot of more things under the CRM. But for me, the first keyword, I have to remember, you cannot do this if you don't have a system. Secondly, it's very important you start do your own analysis. And secondly, please and do start building up your own database for your own customer. You see? Then only we can talk about sales funnel. All right, so there is the correlations from this slide to my slide on the sales funnel. Then the topic is increasing, because now we are actually building up the concept of increasing. Once you have done these processes, increasing the sales will come eventually. You see? All right, good. Now the concept is, okay, just I'm giving some informations a little bit more describes the database is the customers and the relationship we hold with the company, a collection of informations that organize. You see, the keyword is organized in a way that allows it easy to be accessed, managed, and updated. So that is all about. Now, see, so after we have talked about our unique value proposition, our unique selling point, and then we talk about our, on the other hands of strategy on building up our analysis, our database, and so on and so forth, then only we talk about the sales funnel strategy on how we want to actually increase the sales. All right. Now, this is the foundation for the sales funnel. You can have a look at the internet. There is a lot there, but this is our sales funnel that it's compatible with our current market. Okay. Now, the reason why I'm being said that, because you have to remember, in Malaysia, they are still preferred face-to-face interactions. They need to know you as a seller. They need to see you. They need to know your customer's value, your customer volume, where is your office is located, and they need to see you in front of them. So that is the Malaysian. But outside from Malaysia, for example, in Europe or even the United States, they just buy it from online, everything. Okay, see, so there is a difference between Malaysia and non-Malaysia. So you have to remember that. That's why when we put the sales funnel, we actually assuming you need to have a meeting, you have a quotation, because you have to have an interaction between one to another. Now, another thing that I would like to highlight or emphasize here is this sales funnel a little bit compatible with B2B. Okay, you have to remember, in the market, in the sales, we have a two type of B2 business interaction. One is business to customer, B2C, and one is B2B, business to business. So I guess the one that actually I'm projecting you now is a B2B. Okay, because if it's B2C, normally they will just have this one, the leads, prospecting accounts, and then they will straight away go to the invoices. Because at the end point of customer, the customer B2C, they just straight away to decide whether they are going to buy a product or not. Very simple. There is no way that there is a meeting, there is a quotation. No. But for the business to business, you have to actually put the leads and accounts, the meetings, the quotations, and then the invoices. Okay, from the slide, actually it's just like you channeling from one to another, and also you qualify how you qualify the leads and accounts from one to another. Now, ideally, the idealistic is this column leads and account should be as thin as possible, and you need to have a bigger on this one, or even this one, or even this one. It's very idealistic. But because I guess this one is just like maybe there is a lot coming in, the leads and prospecting, so they don't really have time to actually prospecting and qualifying the leads on prospecting. So I guess, but you have to remember that this is must be as thin as possible. Okay, so that actually you can actually channeling more to this one and this one. All right. Okay. Now, this is some of the I mean the ideal sales funnels is all about. You see, there's a few marketing campaign platform that actually you can put everything under here. You see, identifying, stream, give, build, analysis. You see, still the words there, build and analysis. Recheck your analysis. See, that's why I'm talking just now about the first slide. You have to do your analysis, because from there it gives you some input for the next marketing campaign on how to make it better. Okay, on how to make it more interesting. Another take out for you guys. What is it? Another take out for you guys is you have to implement the IDA concept. What is IDA? Attraction, information, and you have to build desire. You see, desire is very important. And also action on how the customer can actually contact and engage with you after you are seeing your marketing campaign. Okay, and then throughout the day, towards the end of the day, see, the word is increase the sales. Because for me, there is no really specific things that actually if you done from A to B, obviously your sales can be increased. No, you have to done one by one. Those input that I'm giving you from the start of the beginning of this presentation, that is your stairs, tangga. You know, you are building up tangga and stairs on how to move to the high peak of the mountain. You see? All right. Now, during prospecting, just now, this one, leads and account, I would like to, suggest or even share with you guys, you have to remember there is a 3 major component type of prospecting and leads. Be it on hot, be it warm, and also cold. Now, what is differentiation between these 3 major components? Hot. Hot is for those people ataupun for those leads yang very important, or we call it as a VVIP, very important person. All right, because the chances of closing them is very high, but they are not really there is in terms of number, they are not really big number. I just give you some analogy. They are about 20%, but then the conversion rate is about 80%. You see, the number of hot leads is just like 20%, somewhere around there, but then your closing rate is 80%. So that's the fundamental. Likewise, on the other hand, on the cold, the number of prospecting in cold is very high. It's just like 80%, you see, but then the closing rate is just like 20%. You see, so the cancellations rate is much higher than the closing rate, the conversion rate. So that is the analogy. And the warm, it could be somehow 50-50. Maybe because they don't really have the desire on how to actually buy the product, and because they don't really get the feel keeping in touch with your benefit. You see, because almost like 80% entrepreneur SMEs, when they are projecting the product, they are very focused on the value proposition. They were talking 100 and 1,000 things about the product. But for me, it's okay because it's all about your product knowledge. For me, it's very good. I don't saying that it's not good for the sake of company. Yes, it's perfectly okay. But then when you're facing your customer, you have to know you have the different strategy on how to talk about your product. You see? So that is the sales strategy. Okay, so I guess from this slide you have a differentiate. You are able to differentiate between hot, cold, and warm, and how you actually your qualifying effort based on this strategy. You cannot fair and square for all of this time. For example, on the hot, you just maybe do phone calls. Cold, maybe you just email, blast, or even WhatsApp, or even SMS. That's where you try to actually eliminate those leads yang memang wouldn't become your customer. But don't throw out away. You just put into something else, but actually they will become your future leads. All right. Okay. I guess everyone are still okay. Okay, we just moving into the very serious things. All right, so remember the one that the cell definitions that I'm talking about the early of the presentation. There is a process. You see, there is a process. I believe some of the process that you have been doing that for many years, but we just to recap again and relearn about this. There is a 7 steps: prospecting, approach, interview, proposals, demonstration, negotiating, and support. But for me, just to recap a few things that actually very important that you need to put in line in your marketing campaign, in your sales strategy, in your sales team, so that you are able to build up your sales and you are able to increase your sales. This is the factor, okay? Building up relationship and trust. Remember KLT, the one that I'm talking about, KLT, all right? Trust. And then uncovering needs, customers' needs. Now, on this point, I just want to share some of the story with you guys. As a salesperson, I know we tend to react and respond rather than we tend to listen to our customer. This is very important. I've been seeing this for those people who have done, businesses for long time ago. 10 years, 20 years. I'm not saying that it's not good, okay? I'm not saying that it's not good, but you have to remember, if you want to get to know more about your customer, you have to have a tendency to listen more instead of respond more, okay? The keyword is tendency to listen more rather than talking more to your customer. Because when you have tendency to listen, you know what his customer needs. And because of that, you are able, point number 3, matching product or services to those needs. You are actually matching up. You find the matching point and you are giving them Panadol because they're having headache. So now the point is matching the product and services based on those needs from uncovering customer needs, the one that actually you have done before. You see the correlation? So that is the that's a strategy that actually people will buy to you, because when you listen more, you understand more, relationship is there, trust is there. That is the keyword on how to bring yourself moving forward. There is no formula. Okay, if you are talking 100% about your product, for surely, for example, if your product is manufactured from United States of America, a high-class factory, there is no guarantee they will buy your product. No, I can tell you that, because you have no tendency to listen to your customer needs, because you are assuming that you know what this customer needs. Okay, so that's the word. And communicating benefit. You see why I put the red one is because you communicating the benefit after you matching the product and services, after you listen to your customer. And the last but not least, you persuade your customer. The concept of IDA just now. Okay, you negotiate and demonstrate. Negotiate and demonstrate. So this is the stage where you are persuading your customer to purchase. You see? So that's the selling process. So this is the process, which is I believe we have done before, but then just to recap again, to making sure not only you, if you have a sales team, if you have a teammate, making sure your teammate are also shared with this one, so that you are on the same page, okay? Now, then only we talk about the sales key performance indicator. Sales target, you have to have a sales target. Set clear goals. This is very important. Incentive and bonuses. Keep measuring, challenging, and improving your sales performance. So this is very important. Okay, now I just revert back to the first concept just now. SMART concept. Specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based. So you need to have the total number ataupun total figure that you need to achieve for this particular year, for example. So I just giving you some example. On the first sentences, sell definite amount by specific date. For example, I give you some example. Sell 100,000 ringgit by 31st December 2020. So that is the first. If you don't have the second sentences, increase the average order, it's fine. It's perfectly fine. Don't worry. You still have the determinations or the target. So what I would suggest normally in the workshop and the training, you have to put the number and also the specific date and print out and put on your table. Every day we'll see this target in front of you so that every day it allows you to more, speed up. Make sure you are keep up with everything. Make sure your number are making progress from day to day, from month to month. Okay, but along the way you need to see measuring, challenging, and improving your sales. You see, so that's the way. All right. Now, I guess we are in the position where the question is how to make sure after we're building up the database, after we're building up the sales target, after we're building up the sales funnel, how we want to make sure we can actually set the target and increase your sales and even break through your target. So this is where we actually put the number. Oh, sorry, this one. I'm sorry, I beg your pardon, but on the slide, I just put a very traditional method, which is I am very old school guy. I love to put it down, jot down in the piece of paper, so that I will get more familiar with that, with the concept. You see, we go one by one. First of all, you have to know what is your number of sales conversion. This is some of the analogy and some of the example. When we talk about the sales conversion, it's just it is like this. Just to explain it to you, when you meet 10 people, how much people that actually you can actually convert or make it the leads or the prospect become your customer. For me, for example, I just give you some example. 4 people will become my customer, and 6 people wouldn't become my customer at the moment. So straight away, you know actually your sales conversion is about somewhere around 40%. Now, on the second stairs, you need to set the sales target. For example, I give you an example, a very simple analogy and a very simple figure, but I believe you have your own target and you have your own number that you actually can mix and modify it later. Your sales target is around 100,000 ringgit yearly. Okay, 100,000 ringgit yearly. Now, and then on the third one, why there is suddenly 250,000 ringgit? You see, because after recalculating, by making assumption that your closing rate is somewhere around only 40%, but at the same time, how to making sure you actually are able to hit your target 100,000 ringgit, you need to find the sales about 250 ringgit a year. You see? So that's why I put some notes over there. I'll be clearer, 40% conversion rate. You see. Now, where is the figure is come out? 20,000 ringgit a month. You see, a month. I spread it out into 12 months from this number, 250,000 ringgit. You actually divide it into 12 months, then you will get this number. Okay. Now, after we get this number, by assuming you only will able to produce, you're able to actually getting about 40% of your closing rate, for example. So that's why I'm come out with this number, 8,400 ringgit a month. By this number, this is 20,000 a month. But after this number, assuming there is only 40% that you will close, see this one. So your what we call it, a compulsory sales that you need to make for this particular month. So if we put it into 12 months again, You see, you are actually get 100,000 ringgit and 100,000 ringgit and 100,000 and 800 ringgit. So there is a surplus, there is lebihan, 800 ringgit. So I just giving you some of the numbers so that you actually can able to understand. It's very easy to understand, because normally when I'm having this workshop, I will straight away put into my whiteboard and we calculate together, because I want to know, I want you to understand with me that you keep up with the number and you keep up where I'm getting the number. Okay, but because of this, we're just doing on the webinar, so that's why I'm just giving you some here. But the end point is, my point is that, you see, after recalculating, that's why I put on the first one. You have to know what is the number of conversion, so that each and every number, the figure, you have to remember, after deduct with the 40% of your conversion rate, you still are able to actually hit the target. Not even hit, you are breakthrough beyond your target. So that is very much the correlation. Now, okay, now I guess now is this the point where actually I can conclude a bit on this presentation, how to actually increase your sales. First thing first, you have to remember there are some strategy you need to put on. What is your value proposition? You have to very clear and a very depth. You need to have a very depth understanding and clear information about your unique selling point, because that is the factor that actually will increase your sales. You see, that is the factor that actually will increase your sales, because you are clear than everyone else about your product knowledge. Secondly, you have to have some analysis to making sure you are not static there. From year by year, from time to time, you are static there. So that's why your sales are not increasing, because you are static there and you couldn't find what's happened. You are in the dark mode, in the dark position, because you don't have an analysis. Secondly, you have to make use of database, not for the current relationship, but to resell and even to have a second or even third revenue stream untuk menjana pendapatan kedua dan ketiga. So that is very important. And then secondly, you have to have a sales funnel. Sales funnel will allow and will translate all those words, all those strategy yang kita dah cerita tiga tadi into a sales funnel, and from the sales funnel, you are able to actually determine your number sales your conversion rate. Now, assuming this is by hitting this number, you are assuming your conversion is somewhere around 40%. What happened after you have done the improvement? The improvement, the realignment, this restructure, you are able to increase your conversion rate about 50 or even 60%. Myself, I'm somewhere around 70 to 80% conversion rate, but it takes a year to do it. So now, if you are just 40%, can you imagine what happened if you are building up and if it goes up to 60%? How much your actual income? You see? So that's the word. So that is the factor, that is strategy on how to increase the sales and how to actually even break through your target. All right? Okay. So just to summarize again, ataupun just to add on a little bit, your business will grow or fail based on the success of your product and services. I agree, totally agree with that. But you also have to relook on how well you persuade your customer to buy the product. Okay, we are talking about the sales skills. Now, there is a few major components that you have to focus on. Confidence. Okay, a lot of my participant, my ex-customer are asking me this question: how to become more confident? My answer was, there's only one answer for me, and I guess you have to build up in your DNA. What I meant by that, you have to practice again and again, talking about your product, you have to learn new things every day. So because the confidence is something that actually your own build up. There is no way that actually I can make you confident. No, you have to confident by yourself, by doing research. You have your own knowledge, you have product knowledge, then you are able and comfortable and relaxed talking about your product. You are not in hurry, you are not in nervous. So because you can see the rhythm, the trend of thoughts, the trend of the conversations, a little bit nervous because you're not really confident in yourself. Okay, relationship building, listening, you see, listening, persuasions, and also, but last but not least, of course, it's all about your product knowledge. Product knowledge, the one that I mentioned just now lah, is a value proposition, and you have to have a determination ataupun interpretations ataupun explanatory very depth in your product knowledge in terms of how you project your unique selling point. Okay, remain seated. This is some of the notes lah. All right, so I guess to sum up, that is my presentation is all about. So back to the presentation just now. So basically, there is no fixed factor that actually will allow you to increase your sales. But for me, it's very simple. If you done the improvement, you increase, you have a clear path, a clear information about your unique selling point, product knowledge, value proposition, and then after that you have done your own analysis. You must have do analysis. You are building up your own database because you're not only because of you can get back to your old customer, but you are actually building up for the future of your continuity sales processes. And then after that, you are building up your sales funnel. From sales funnel, you are able to know, to determine what is your conversion rate, for example. And from conversion rate, you are able to determine how to actually craft your sales target. And not only craft it, but you are actually able to build up the stairs, tangga, to making sure that you are keep up, speed up, and also break through your target at the end of the day. So I guess to summarize, that is my presentation is all about. I enjoy doing sales because, okay, apart from that, I just want to mention, highlight to all of you, you have to have a passion when you do sales. It cannot be something that you are forced to. It cannot be something because you have to do for the sake of boss, for the sake of your sales director, or even for the sake of the company. But you have to do for the sake of yourself. Because for me, the moment you are enjoying do by your own self, for yourself, that's where the point is, the excitement comes in. You are enjoy to do the people, you enjoy to meet the people, you do enjoy to meet everything in line, in between, and then you are able to force and able to handle the rejection and objections day by day. Okay, so yeah, I think on the system wise, apart from the CRM, under the Office Center, we have a CRM, but we also have a HRMS, payroll, accounting CRM, and also POS. But I guess the next presenter, Encik Amir Fauzan, will talk more about this. But I guess, I hope, I'm just sharing what I've done before, what I've learned before. So to all of you, so that actually we can moving forward together. And I love to see everyone a success, you see. So because for me, the learners are winners. Sometimes I also learn day by day a new thing so that I actually can keep up my knowledge, my sales processes to be in a better way. All right, so I guess thank you very much. So I pass back to MC, or even I pass back to Encik Amir Fauzan. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Hassan. I would like to invite Mr. Ami for the next presentation.
Terima kasih Encik Haslan dan juga Puan Liza. So tadi Encik Haslan ada mention berkenaan dengan Office Central. So saya nak operate sikit mengenai sistem ini. So dalam Office Central kita ada untuk HRMS, payroll, accounting, finance, CRM, procurement dan juga point of sale. Semua sekali dalam satu sistem. Alright, okay. So dalam HRMS ni apa yang dia ada adalah untuk staff kita punya profile lah. Kita punya detail, and then dia ada juga bahagian untuk mungkin ada staff yang nak apply cuti ke dalam sistem, staff boleh apply terus ke dalam sistem. So sekarang ni dah orang kata dah dunia, orang kata dah digitalize, so tak perlu lagi nak orang kata apa, isi borang semua tak perlu. So just direct pada sistem, apply terus ke dalam sistem. Semua nanti sistem akan dapat you punya record lah. So saya balik dulu kepada yang staff punya profile. So yang ni contoh lah, kalau you ada staff mungkin ada dalam 5 orang, 10 orang, 50 orang ataupun 100 orang pun semua, you boleh masukkan data staff ni ke dalam ini. Mungkin ada staff yang dah resign semua tu, dan data tu still lagi ada kat dalam sistem lah. So, contohnya saya ambil salah satu staff ya. So ini merupakan staff punya profile. So yang ni complete orang kata complete staff punya profile lah. So dari segi dia punya department dekat mana, dia punya detail dia apa semua akan ada kat dalamnya. Dia punya education background, dia punya experience, dia punya certificate semua. Kalau ada apa-apa certificate nak upload kat dalam sistem, just scan and upload terus kat dalam sistem. And then itu yang ni contoh dia punya basic apa semua sekali. And then bila you download you punya staff profile, so sistem akan keluarkan yang macam resume punya. You punya staff profile. Okay, so contohnya yang ni lah. Okay. And then tadi saya ada mention juga berkenaan dengan list management semua. So nanti yang ni contohnya staff tu dia akan ada dia punya ID sendiri. And then dia punya view sendiri. So contohnya staff tu boleh apply masuk terus kat dalam sistem and then dia apply di JPT. So dia tak perlu lagi nak isi orang semua, tak apalah. So yang ni contoh yang dia dah apply sebenarnya. So listing cuti dia tu akan dia akan nampak kat dalam ni lah. Bila staff apply cuti, so nanti sistem akan hantar notification dekat dia punya supervisor. And the supervisor dia boleh approve atau reject dia punya cuti. So yang dia lah. And then bila cuti tu dah di approve, so sistem akan keluarkan dalam bentuk kalender nanti. So dia akan nampak lah kat dalam ni nanti staff mana yang apply cuti pada bulan tu. And then yang untuk yang management punya, so kita akan keluarkan punya dashboard. So you boleh tengok staff mana yang apply cuti paling banyak, cuti apa yang telah diambil, semua sekali ada kat dalam ni lah. So mungkin 7 tahun nanti you nak naikkan segi staff ke apa semua tu. So boleh juga berpandukan yang ni lah. So dalam HRMS ni juga dia ada bahagian yang cost management, attendance dan juga movement. Mungkin kita ada juga satu lagi app. Contohnya kalau staff mana yang nak check in dengan check out, dia boleh check in terus dekat app tu. So nanti kita akan capture GPL dekat mana dia check in. Alright, okay. So saya berbalik kepada yang bahagian payroll punya sistem. Okay, so mungkin kita tanya macam mana kita akan keluarkan bila you proses gaji nanti, kita akan keluarkan you punya payslip. Okay, contohnya, okay, so you just beberapa klik so nanti, and then bila you proses gaji, so kita akan automatic keluarkan payslip. So ini contoh you punya payslip lah. So mungkin staff dia yang baru dia akan nampak yang payslip sahaja. Yang admin dia akan nampak yang semua sekali, tapi staff dia akan nampak yang bahagian salary slip. Okay, so yang ni contoh view untuk staff. Okay, staff tu dia boleh nak download ke, dia tak nak download ke, so depend atas dia. So tak perlu lagi admin print hard copy ataupun email satu-satu dekat staff dah tak perlu. Sebabnya staff dia akan ada ID dia sendiri, dia masuk dalam sistem, dia akan nampak dia punya salary slip. And then, tapi first setting dia ada dekat payroll profile. So contohnya you set dia punya gaji semua berapa, EPF tu semua carum ketak semua akan ada kat dalam ni nanti. So contohnya sekarang ni ada pengurangan bahagian EPF kepada yang so sistem dah automatic akan update lah kat dalam sistem nanti. So contohnya kalau ada update gaji siapa semua, so kita akan recordkan bila staff naik gaji ataupun kurangan gaji. Okay, so yang ni bahagian government punya form. Okay, so bila kita dah finalize gaji, so sistem akan automatic akan update dengan nanti dari segi EPF, so EIS ke, LSDN ke, semua akan dekat dalamnya. Contohnya saya ambil salah satu yang borang EA. Alright, okay. Okay, so yang ni dia punya borang EA lah. Semua sekali dah automatic update lah. So bila kita proses gaji kan, semua itu akan nampak kat dalam ni nanti. Okay. So contohnya kalau ada perubahan dari government apa semua, apa-apa form ke calculation semua, so sistem kita akan auto-update. Semua akan dapat lah. Right, okay. So saya pergi kepada yang bahagian CRM, ada Cik Aslan ada mention juga pasal dengan sales partner apa semua. And then yang ni antara part dia lah. So ini bahagian customer relationship management. So saya ambil poin yang penting kat dalam ni, bahagian kita ada yang bahagian contact book, bahagian billing dan juga bahagian inventory. Kita punya inventory lah. So stock in, stock out semua akan ada kat dalam ni nanti. Okay, so yang ni bahagian billing, quotation sampai habis payment, and then yang ni bahagian kita punya klien. Dia ada berapa banyak klien pun you just masukkan kat dalam sistem dia semua sekali. So itu kita tak ada masalah, kita tak setkan limit. Contohnya salah satu saya ambil klien. Okay. based on transaction kita dengan klien, kita akan nampak based on yang dashboard ni. Berapa resip yang kita dah close dengan dia, so amount dia kita akan nampak ke dalam ni nanti dah berapa banyak. Kita dengan start awal-awal dulu sampai yang latest ni, inilah dia punya amount. So yang ni dia punya profile detail, mungkin ada note ke apa ke, you nak mungkin based on phone call apa semua, kalau ada note, you just masukkan ke dalam sistem. So dia akan keluar siapa yang masukkan, ada date and time dia. Yang ini yang paling penting, kita nak tengok. Contohnya, start first bill yang kita hantar dekat dia sampai yang latest punya. Start dari quotation, order acceptance, invoicing, sampai lah receipt payment. Semua akan nampak lah, kita akan nampak start first sampai yang latest punya. So yang ni contoh yang bahagian billing. So kita akan nampak juga bahagian invoice ni. So invoice tu dah bayar ke belum, ataupun mungkin ada dalam satu invoice tu mungkin ada banyak receipt semua, kita akan nampak tu lah. Contohnya saya ambil yang dia, satu amount dia adalah 42,000 and then dia ada 2 kali receipt. And then dia belum habis lagi, so kita akan nampak dia generate lagi, tak hilang generate ni, lagi tu dia berhutang dengan kita. So amount yang pending lagi adalah, kita nampak lah kat sini. Alright, okay. Contohnya saya pergi kepada yang bahagian billing. Okay. Okay, so bila kita buat quotation semua, so running number dia dah automatic. Yang ni contoh dia punya template. Okay. Okay, so yang ni dia punya template lah, contoh dia. And then mungkin ada klien yang minta request invoice apa semua, kita tak perlu lagi pergi dekat invoice, kita create yang baru. Kita just nampak ke tepi ni, kita just generate order acceptance, generate invoice sampai lah receipt payment. So tak perlu, contohnya kita buat quotation, ada customer request invoice. So kita pergi dekat invoice, kita buat yang baru balik, tak perlu. Kita just klik kat tepi ni sahaja. So kita tak payah nak buat satu-satu lah. Alright, okay. Ada contohnya saya pergi dekat invoice, yang ni dia punya template. Bila kita klik kat tepi tu tadi, so dia masuklah kat tepi ni. So dia akan nampak lah status payment apa semua sekali ada kat dalam ni. Alright, okay. So contohnya saya buat generate. Okay, so yang ni contoh dia punya amount by payment by apa-apa semua, and then just masukkan lah. Save and then siap dia punya receipt. So yang contoh kita nanti. Ini dia punya transaction lah. Alright, okay. So kat dalam ni bahagian billing ni juga kita ada keluarkan satu lagi modul, iaitu customer punya portal. Bila kita buat quotation, kita buat invoice, customer akan dapat dia punya bill secara automatik lah. So tak perlu lagi you download orang kata dalam PDF, edit email dekat dia. Tak. Bila kita buat quotation, automatik customer akan dapat dia punya quotation melalui email nanti. Nanti customer dia akan ada portal dia sendiri, so nanti dia akan login kat dalam sistem, nanti dia akan nampak dia punya bill lah. Nanti last kali saya akan tunjukkan part yang customer punya portal sekalikan dengan staff punya portal. Alright, okay. So saya masuk dekat bahagian procurement. So yang ni nak check in dia sama juga macam nak check in quotation. Cuma saya just nak tunjuk dekat punya PO. So yang ni contoh dia punya PO. Nak check in sama macam check in quotation invoice tadi. Semua contoh lah. Alright, okay. So you see template and then bahagian ni bahagian point of sale. So kita punya point of sale ni sesuai untuk yang bahagian yang retail punya industri. So contoh dia, mesti kita beli dia ni gambar semua ni dah boleh masukkan dalam sistem lah. Kalau contohnya tak gambar, dia tak akan keluar gambar lah. Okay. Contohnya kalau kita pergi kedai apa semua, and then kita ambil satu barang, and then mungkin ada scan barcode apa semua, and then cashier akan scan apa semua, dia akan keluar lah dia punya amount apa semua nanti, and then just pay. So dia akan keluar nanti receipt yang kecil tu. Right, okay. So nanti dia punya inventory apa semua nanti, bila transaction tu dah keluar nanti, and then kita akan auto deduct kat dalam kita punya inventory. So nanti mungkin nak closing nanti kita boleh tengok lah inventory dah berapa banyak keluar semua, barang apa yang keluar, barang apa yang paling orang kata top keluar banyak semua, trend apa semua akan nampak, kita akan nampak kat dalam ni nanti. Alright, okay. So saya akan masuk part yang bahagian orang kata account. Inilah sekali kita punya jantung betul ni. Alright, okay. Semua tu saya masuk juga dalam bahagian finance ni. Semua kat dalam ni kita akan nampak staff boleh buat claim sendiri kat dalam sistem terus. And then nak apply advance ke, nak buat payment request ke, kat dalam juga kita ada yang bahagian payment voucher, petty voucher, semua akan ada kat dalam ni lah. And then yang ni yang paling penting bahagian accounting. So first setting dia punya chart account, duit tu nak masuk dekat rumah yang mana, nak keluar dari rumah mana. So yang ni lah dia punya setting lah. And then kat dalam ni based on apa yang kita setting ni, based on transaction yang kita buat semua sekali, so sistem akan keluarkan dia punya report. P&L, balance sheet, trial balance, cash flow semua kat dalam ni semua sekali. So you akan nampak lah, you nak download apa semua, you boleh download dalam PDF ataupun Excel semua. And then you boleh set juga date for semua sekali. Mungkin chart account you tu ada panjang level, mungkin ada banyak level. And then you dah search, so dia akan keluar lagi di punya transaction tu. Yalah. Alright, okay. So sama juga kat dalam ni, kalau nak follow yang FRS, boleh buat FRS punya. Kita ada juga yang lain lah. Report semua tu boleh download dalam bentuk PDF, boleh download dalam bentuk Excel. Ada yang paling penting, kita boleh tengok kita punya cash flow on dashboard tu. Alright, okay. So yang ni contoh dia. Okay, sampai bulan 3 ni dah berapa banyak kita duit masuk, duit keluar semua, yang ni lah. Kita akan nampak lah nanti. So kita nak monitor kita punya cash flow, boleh monitor terus kat dalam ni nanti. Terus on transaction yang kita buat kat dalam juga, boleh isukan invoice, boleh isukan payment apa semua, double entry apa semua, boleh buat terus lah kat dalam ni. Alright, okay. So itu sahaja untuk sistem. Lebih lanjut, boleh kontak dengan kita nanti. So kat bawah ni dia ada bulat sikit. So yang ni kita punya support channel lah. So bila you check kat sini, so nanti our team akan assist je lah nanti apa benda yang question apa semua nanti. Ada kat sini juga dia ada yang bahagian kata apa, kalau tengok video tutorial apa semua, you boleh tengok terus kat dalam sini. Ataupun you nak download user manual ke, boleh download terus lah. So semua video tutorial apa semua, question semua akan ada kat dalam ni nanti. Alright, okay. Okay, so saya nak explain sikit pasal sistem ni. Alright, okay. So tadi just dengar suara kan. So inilah saya gambarnya, and then ini sebelum sikit pasal saya lah, pasal kita punya detail. Alright, okay. Okay, so ini kita punya customer support service. So you boleh email dekat kita yang tadi online support tadi, you boleh chat terus dengan kita ataupun you boleh contact terus lah dengan kita. Alright, okay. So ini berita baik untuk para usahawan yang dapatkan geran padanan sehingga RM5,000 dengan insentif digitalan PTS. Yang mana untuk makluman semua, kami merupakan salah satu provider yang telah diluluskan sebagai Technology Solution Provider ataupun TPS untuk SME Business Digitalization Grant. So yang ni kerjasama di antara MDEC, BSN dan juga SME Bank. So bawah tu ada dia punya kelayakan. So SME yang dimiliki oleh sekurang-kurangnya 60% warga negara Malaysia, and then SME yang berdaftar yang telah beroperasi selama 1 tahun sekurang-kurangnya, dan juga jualan minimum sebanyak RM1,000 untuk tahun pertama, ataupun dia boleh pergi kepada tahun kedua kurang sikit lah kepada yang RM50,000. Alright, okay. So saya nak explain pasal dia punya harga. So yang tadi nampak saya explain untuk ke semua sistem, iaitu kita panggil admin user full package lah kiranya. So daripada HRMS, payroll, accounting, finance, CRM, procurement dan juga point of sale, harga dia adalah RM1,200 untuk per user per year. Ataupun modul user, mungkin tak nak ambil semua sekali, kita boleh pecahkan juga. So contohnya nak untuk HRMS dengan payroll, ataupun accounting dengan finance, ataupun CRM dengan POS ataupun procurement sahaja. Yang tu harga dia adalah RM600 per year, per user lah. Dia tak boleh HR dengan accounting, dia tak boleh. Dia mesti HR dengan payroll, accounting dengan finance, CRM dengan POS ataupun procurement. Ada kita ada juga yang bahagian staff punya level lah. So kat dalam kita ada 3 punya level. Full admin dan juga staff level. So yang staff tu dia boleh nampak yang dia punya lah. Contohnya dia nak tengok dia punya payslip sendiri, dia nak tengok dia punya cuti sendiri, nak apply claim ke, nak buat advance ke, nak buat movement ke kat dalam sistem, dia boleh buat terus lah kat dalam sistem. Alright, okay. So yang ni berkaitan dengan yang grant tadi, so kita keluarkan package. Alright, okay. So yang flexi user tu contohnya salah satu kita ada beberapa bronze, silver, gold, platinum dan saya akan explain. Saya ambil salah satu contoh. Okay. So contohnya yang bronze tu contohnya kita bagi dua user. Okay. Dua user flexi. So akan ada mungkin bahagian management dia nak dua orang. So satu untuk yang bos, satu lagi mungkin ada seorang yang admin yang akan check in apa semua lah yang akan buat operation semua sekali. And then yang tu kita akan bagi dua user. Dia ID berlainan. And then juga staff dia nak masuk ke dalam sistem, iaitu kita bagi 5 user. So value dia adalah RM3,300. So based on yang grant tadi yang government bagi grant padanan up kepada RM5,000. So just buat payment sebanyak 1848 lah. Separuh daripada RM3,300 plus dengan SST. Alright, okay. Sama juga dengan konsep kepada yang silver package go dengan platinum. Alright, okay. So yang tadi saya ada nampak juga soalan daripada peserta. So ada offer, apa-apa offer tak dari MCO. Alright, okay. So kepada pembeli yang sehingga 14 April nanti, so kita akan bagi satu modul user free untuk 6 bulan. So pilih mana-mana modul yang you nak, so just bagi tahu kita and then kita akan offer. Contohnya you nak untuk HRM dengan payroll, so kita akan open untuk HRM dengan payroll. Ataupun accounting dengan finance, ataupun CRM ke, ataupun point of sale ke, ataupun procurement ke, boleh, tak ada masalah. So just bagi tahu kita, and then kita akan open dekat untuk you satu modul user free untuk 6 bulan. Tapi pembelian sehingga 14 April nanti. Alright, okay. Okay, so saya nak minta semua screenshot yang bahagia ni. So nanti boleh contact dengan kita punya team. Our office dekat Bangi. And then boleh contact terus dengan office ke, ataupun nak email dekat kita ke, ataupun boleh contact terus dengan Cik Aslan, Izwan, ataupun dengan saya sendiri, Amir. Alright, okay. So kepada contohnya yang selepas pembelian tu nanti kita ada juga online punya training. So sebelum ni kita buat yang ada kelas, tapi disebabkan PKP ni kita buat online punya training. Alright, okay. So rasanya kalau ada soalan nanti boleh soalan.
Okey, terima kasih buat Encik Amir Fauzan. Dengar ke?
Okey, terima kasih Puan.
Okey, terima kasih buat Encik Amir Fauzan. Okey, seterusnya kita akan buka sesi Q&A. Okey, saya tengok kat sini dekat bahagian Q&A ada 2 soalan. Okey. So dekat sini saya tengok ada 2 soalan. Okey, soalan yang pertama, how long normally is the process of sales funnel? Okey, yang ni saya jemput Encik Hassan lah untuk jawabkan soalan ni.
Hello? Okay. Hello?
Hello ya, okey Encik Hassan.
Okay. So how long normally the process of funneling tu, dia depends on I couldn't give you a very specific time, but apa yang saya boleh cadangkan normally bila you nak firm up ataupun bila you nak come up dengan you punya funneling tu, first kena tahu dulu berapa banyak channel yang akan feed in number of prospecting dalam you punya funnel. So yang tu I guess dalam sehari you dah boleh buat, but then daripada prospecting tu nak kepada closing, kalau let's say B2B let's say if I'm talking about B2B, so kalau B2B, after you masuk ke dalam funneling, the prospecting and converted into your meeting, converted into quotation or even converted into sales invoices, normally it will take about 1 month. 1 month is a more idealistic and something that actually can be achievable lah. Kalau seminggu 2 minggu, I don't think it work out that way because each and every funnel, step of that funnel tu dia ada proses dia sendiri. So contohnya for example, prospecting is different dengan bila you nak buat prospecting untuk marketing, untuk meeting. So, and then from the meeting you converted into your quotation or even your sales, dia akan ambil masa juga. So there are negotiations take in place, there are some persuading come in place. So basically, I guess based on my own experience, maybe dalam sebulan, yes, it can be done. I'm not sure if it's what you meant by process of funneling the question, tapi kalau tidak, our team akan letakkan my email, so maybe we can straight away keep in touch from there lah, so that we can have a more understandable punya question and answer. Okay. Hello.
Alright, okay, terima kasih banyak-banyak Encik Haslan. Okay, kita ada soalan kedua. Okay, soalan kedua seterusnya ialah saya buat account, boleh saya gunakan Office Central sebagai tool untuk membantu saya?
Okay, yang ni nak saya jawab ke macam mana?
Boleh.
Okay, so dia buat account. Okay, again macam saya katakan, saya ambil dari konteks you buat, Encik Rizwan buat account for the sake of your own company, internally. Okay, so let's say kalau you buat for internally for your own company, so memang boleh lah, maksudnya teori tu semua kita dah tahu, Encik Rizwan pun tahu macam mana nak produce financial report and so on and so forth. Tapi macam Office Central tu dijadikan sebagai tools. So contohnya, what I meant is become tools. Kita buat transaction dalam sistem tu, dalam mechanism tu, dalam Office Central, for example. And then towards the end of the usage of our system tu, kita dah boleh producekan report. Now, report tu yang kita boleh gunakan untuk kita punya accounting report, accounting financials punya statement, financial punya analysis, okay. So itu menyebabkan Office Central tu bertindak sebagai tools untuk membantu usahawan. Sebab sometimes sometimes kita punya usahawan ni dia tahu untuk sesuatu benda tu, tapi sometimes dia tak ada tools. So that's where the tools comes in to help your company and yourself as an entrepreneur actually are able to contohnya have a more structured in term of processes in your company. For example, saya cuba nak ceritakan berkait dengan modul CRM tadi. Contohnya dalam accounting. Okay, so kebiasaannya dalam syarikat ni, orang yang buat salesperson dia akan log in dalam sistem CRM. Okay, so bila kita buat invoices dalam sistem CRM, normally orang accountant dia kena buat balik dalam sistem account. Dia kena ambil balik, they need to pick up again the information, the transactions dalam CRM, put again in double entry, manual works need to be done in dalam accounting. Tapi macam daripada cadangan kita, for example, dalam tools yang kita provide ni dalam Office Central System, first, there is no a double entry ataupun manual key in from CRM to accounting, because kita dah boleh auto transactionals masuk dalam accounting. So whenever salesperson buat dalam CRM, the accountant straight away within a second are able to actually posting dalam kita punya listing dalam accounting untuk masuk dalam dia punya financial report. And secondly, kita ada juga automated accounting features dalam kita punya CRM. Okay, in a way, automated, don't be confused. In a way that accounting automated dalam CRM for our invoices and receipt. Maksudnya, bila kita buat invoice dalam kita punya CRM tu tadi, dalam CRM Office Central, and bila kita dah finalize, approve the transactionals, so straight away from there dia akan buat auto matching kepada kita punya debit and credit. Macam mana boleh bertindaknya auto debit and credit, because dalam accounting module kita dah siapkan funneling, channeling you punya mapping, you based on you punya chart of account, based on you punya debtor. Okay, so basically that's the tools. So basically you can actually save almost not really 100%, but almost 100%, but not purely 100%. It's just like 99.9% for example. But everything are actually manual, automated. Just 1%, for example, just to recheck, because of course you still need to check to making sure the transactional, the invoices are still corrected, masuk dalam you punya customer, the apa barangan yang dibeli, just 1%. But 99% we can solve after you implemented the tools tadi ataupun CRM ataupun accounting dalam Office Management System. I guess this is my point of view at the moment. Tapi kalau ada soalan lain daripada Cik Rizwan yang berkait dengan benda ni, boleh emailkan dekat saya lah. Nanti saya akan cuba untuk bantu ataupun cuba tengok dari a different perspective. Okay, pass back to Puan Nisa.
Okay, alright. Thank you so much, Mr. Haslan. Okay, we have another question. Okay, di sini ada question tentang I have my business partner in UK. Is it possible for them to utilize Office Central? Can Office Central be customized accordingly to meet their requirements?
Okay, okay, for this question, okay, I would like to start answering this question by quoting getting the fact that this is the suitable ataupun this is the tremendous futuristic that actually a cloud are able to serve you, because it can be accessible anywhere, anytime around the world, around the globe. Even though you have a partners in UK, for example, it still can be accessible from that point. But I just want to making sure that some of the futuristic features in terms of, for example, let's say I'm putting payroll, for example, paycheck. Might be you need to have a customization accordingly to their local UK environment, because you know sometimes in Malaysia we have a statutory like EPF, SOCSO, LHDN, and so on and so forth. So I think that is the differentiations between Malaysia and UK. But in terms of accounting and also sales, for example, on CRM, I guess there's no a big question mark we need to address, because, for example, in terms of accounting, we are served at the best pleasure of accounting standard for worldwide. It's conventional accounting, as long as it can be produced for all the financial report like P&L, balance sheet. I guess that's very much enough, good enough. But then maybe in terms of maybe some certain report that may be required by United Kingdom government, that might be we have to relook again, but not it's a big issue like payroll, paycheck. So I guess in terms of the other features like CRM, accounting, finance, claim, advance, and so on. So I guess that's straightforward. So your partner business in the UK are still able to, implement the system. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Haslan. Okay. So as of now, I see all the questions have been answered. All right. So there's no more question for today. But don't worry, you can always contact us if you have any questions in the future. All right. So thank you to Mr. Haslan Jr. and Mr. Amir Fauzan for the sharing today. And thank you to all of you for joining and staying until the end. We hope you enjoyed and learned a lot from the webinar to help increase your sales and grow your business. If you have any questions or would like to request for more information, feel free to visit our website www.officecentralcloud.com or email us at sales@ventures.com.my. Don't forget that you are also eligible for the SME Business Digitalization Grant if you're interested to use Office Central for your company. For your information, we also have a few more webinars on different topics during this MCO period. You're invited to join those webinars too. We will send an email to all of you after completion of this webinar with a registration link for the following webinars should you be interested to join. Once again, we thank you for joining the webinar today. Stay safe, everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh.
Thank you.
Thank you.